What's up, guys? Welcome to the Coalcast week of
Today's the 20th.
October 22nd. We are recording these 2 days ahead of schedule now, and I still can't keep the date in my head. Evan told me I'm not allowed to make the silly jokes about what episode number we're on because I'm so out of touch. So
I didn't say that.
If you look forward to my silly jokes, write Evan hate mail in ransom letters. Like, take the time to cut them out of your magazines and tell Evan he made a bad decision and he'll be punished.
I would thoroughly enjoy that.
His home address is... I'm just kidding. So welcome to the Coalcast, guys. Today I have Greg with me here. We're going to talk about a recent project that he's been working on for the Warriors Way Expo, which is November 8th and 9th.
Coming up quick.
They will be getting their community involved and showing people what they do and the impact that it has. We talk about them quite a bit, but I genuinely can't talk about them enough, and the sacrifices they make from their family to their jobs to everything else they have going on. Dave and Brian and Jeff and other Dave are really the core group. There's a bunch of other volunteers and a lot of people that come out and do stuff, but those are the four guys that really head stuff up. And I really, as somebody who is not a veteran, but is a friend to veterans who has seen the effects, both positive and negative, to coming into civilian life, I can't thank them enough. And I don't think that we do enough for them as a company. And I just want to encourage everybody to go out to Lima, Ohio, and check out what they're doing, because they're changing lives. They're making a difference. And it is a true nonprofit. It is not a 75-person organization where everybody's on payroll and they're covering all their bills. This is 100% of your money goes to saving lives. 100% of your physical donations get implemented into a class. I saw somebody donated a truck maybe a month or two ago, and they're using that to haul material. So these guys are truly guys that just want to see the benefit of their community, see things happen in the benefit of their community, and not to their own personal lives. So we've got that coming up, the 8th and 9th. I know Greg will be out there. I will hopefully be out there the 9th. I have to figure that out still. But this is always a good time. I know the guys in the IBA are going to be out there. They always have a few friends out making knives, running stuff with civilians that just want to come watch and stuff. But
I believe Jeremiah will be there.
Jeremiah's usually there, Brett. And it's free. That's the best part.
I do believe Charlie will be out there also.
I think Charlie's trying to be out there.
And I think he's trying to take with him.
Oh, yeah. He did mention that, but I don't know if we were supposed to say that or not.
I think we just got confirmation this morning. But
okay, cool.
I'll double check and bleep that out if we need to.
Cool.
Just leave it mysteriously named man that might be going.
Yeah, Charlie might be bringing a special guest with him.
Yeah, so come out to that, guys. The other thing that I want to pitch real quick is the Coal Iron Works Andy Davis Hammer in 2025. That was a very poor announcer voice. So this year we are going to be doing December 5th and 6th for the Coal Iron Works Andy Davis Hammer in. This is in memoriam in remembrance of our late co-founder Andy Davis, who before he started Coal Iron Works with Nathan was an avid teacher and held classes up at Vic's shop where we started out. And would always take the time to teach and instruct, and that's really where his heart was at. And if I remember correctly, Nathan and Andy had talked about opening a school for a couple of years before Andy passed away. So we do this to remember him, to honor his legacy, to just remember a good friend and a mentor to a few people, and obviously a father and a husband. And this is just our way of saying thank you to all of you guys who supported us in the early years, who continue to support us, who will support us in the future, and at the same time, make sure that everybody knows that Andy was an integral part of that. So We're doing that the 5th and 6th this year. We will be having 3 instructors that was decided on this week. We will be having Jonah Conrad, who makes axes and has recently got into hammers and some other stuff. He's going to come out and do a demo. We have Leah Airpoch, who does some welding and creatures and fun trinkety stuff, and it's all very artistic, which we have not gotten a big insight into the artist side of blacksmithing in our previous events. And then what I'm really stoked for is someone who does not like to be on the internet, so I won't say his name, but he is a current chair member of the IBA. And if you have ever been to any blacksmithing event in Indiana in the past 5 years,
or here at Cole
Ironworks, this gentleman has been integral, absolutely integral in making it happen. He is once again a father, a friend, a mentor to a lot of us out here. And I am very excited to be able to bring our community into the demonstrations and show people a little bit of what we get to do and be an encouragement for you to take that back home, because Paul's not been, anywho, Paul's not been doing it for 35 years. He doesn't do it full time.
6, isn't it?
He hasn't been doing it for a living. Yeah, I think he got into it right pre-COVID. And he's jumped in feet first, and he's out at Kurt's all the time, and he's out at Rob's all the time, and he's helping mentor Noah. And
he's here all the time.
He's here, and it seems like you can't go anywhere without him being there. He came to Hayden's open house, he's just, excuse me, just a fantastic dude. And I am very excited to see what he has cooked up. I gave him free reign, told him demo whatever you want, involve whoever you want. I'm just really excited because he genuinely is just such an encouraging person to be around, and is always willing to help out. So, we've got that coming up this year. We will be having Fiery Furnace Forge. Dave will come out and have a table. Andrew Larson will be having a table.
Charlie will have a table.
Charlie will probably have a table. Broadbeck's going to have a table. There are a couple other names that we're still waiting on 100% confirmation for, but we will have an actual vendor event, which will be good. We got feedback that people liked that last year, and we'll be doing a raffle. Guys, the donations that we have gotten to the raffle have just been absolutely wonderful, and we are very excited, and we are very thankful, and we are very grateful. Today, Mr. Dennis Dusick emailed me a picture of what he is donating, and holy crap. I didn't show you yet, did I?
Nope.
Holy crap. Super cool. We are going to be posting pictures of that on our Instagram to kind of gain some hype for the event. I cannot say thank you enough for the support that we've got from other vendors, from even members of the community. Abana's gotten on board, CBA's gotten on board, Even Heat's gotten on board, and we are going to have a ton of really cool stuff to raffle off on top of us raffling off a 25 kilowatt. So you come to the event, you take it home. No questions asked.
For those that are doing one day, is the raffle going to be on Friday or Saturday?
The raffle will be on Saturday, but if you win the raffle, you win the raffle. That's fine. I'll still send stuff to you.
Yeah, we ship all over the country.
Yep. And speaking of Warriors Way, I believe they are coming out. They're only going to be able to make it Friday, but they will have a booth to be able to buy knives, to be able to make donations, just to be able to get to meet them and get to know them and ask them about their story. But I would highly, encourage everyone coming out to get to know them. And if you are debating between buying a raffle ticket or donating to Warriors Way, I would say donate to Warriors Way. They are doing way cooler things. And like I said, we are doing the raffle to kind of pay for part of the event and to try to break even. We're not trying to make a ton of money. So I don't want this to feel like a cash grab for anybody. I don't want people to feel like we got them on the hook for a ticket price and then immediately ask for more money. we want you guys to be able to come out and enjoy this, and we're more than willing to spend a few dollars on it, but the bigger it gets, the more we have to cover costs. So we thought that a raffle was a good way to kind of find a healthy medium of giving back and doing something that's familiar to people, as well as maybe cover some of our expenses. So come out, do that. I hope that the transparency is seen in that, and that it's not misunderstood. I always worry when I talk about anything money related or financially related that people are going to be upset about what I have to say, but I also want to be transparent, and I want people to feel like they're connected to the thought process. So that's about it. It's about all I got to cover is go to Warriors Way, November 8th and 9th, right? 8th and 9th sounds right. And then Andy...
Friday or Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Saturday's the main event. Sunday's the auction.
Right. And then December 5th and 6th.
And then on Friday at the Coal Iron, Charlie's going to have that storyboard where we're going to be selling the material to go along with that as well, correct?
Yes. Yes. So he's got a knife dreamed up, drawn out, and has a process. He won't be doing a demo, but he will be available for questions and comments, concerns, be able to get you. Hopefully, last year it didn't work out that everybody did it because some people came in and tried to start at like 4:00. But hopefully be able to get you a knife as close to start to finish as possible. So cool. This week we got Greg. Greg's been learning how to do a Puukko.
Yep.
Guess what? We got a class you can take on that.
Yep.
And so I wanted to have you come on and just talk to me about what struck your eye about Puukko, what some of your challenges have been, and the Puukko, not whatever. But just talk me through that. What got you noticed in the Puukko lifestyle there?
Well, so Warriors Way was doing the sponsorship deal, and each person that's sponsored gets a Puukko. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, Dave, I'll make a couple for that. And I've got to get them done quick.
Yeah.
So that's what brought that along. And I know that Charlie had made one and filmed it that you can purchase on coaliron.com for the online class. So I was like, I'll make a couple, and that's what I've been doing.
So what is the background of the Puukko? I know that you kind of get into the history of things when you make them. What's the Puukko come from?
So somewhere, I believe it's Finnish or Swedish, and it's a utility knife. I didn't get too far into it.
It's Finnish.
Finnish, okay.
Well, he's not. No, he's got a couple weeks. He's got to get them finished though.
But Finland, and it's a fairly old design as well. Like pretty early on in the Iron Ages, I believe they started making a similar knife to that.
So this is an everyday kind of pocket knife style. This is what you're going to cut your boxes open with. This is what you're going to in today,
yeah.
Right? So this is something that you can carry on you. This isn't a survivor knife that it's the only thing you take out with you in the jungle and try to survive for 3 days, right?
Although the original Puukkos were that way, they're very like bushcrafty knives, but these are just little like everyday carry utility knives.
Okay, so the Puukko changes in size.
Yeah.
There's not a size parameter to it. Gotcha. So when they originally made these, we're talking Finland. So I'm assuming there's some whaling going on. Are they skinning animals with it? Are they cutting fat?
It's kind of just your all around. You can use it to split kindling. You can cut meat with it. You can skin with it. You can do all utility.
Okay.
Scandinavia is very utilitarian.
Right. Yeah. You have one tool that does 500 things, not 500 tools that each do one thing. That's
they don't subscribe to the same style as the Japanese.
Right. Yeah. The Japanese style would be very, very different than that. It would be, spend 6 months to make a blade that you're going to use 4 times because, and even if that, because a lot of times their specific blades for every blade they made, there was also kind of an offshoot that was ceremonial and would never actually be used as a blade. Right.
Yeah.
So, in your making of Puukkos, what what has been the most challenging thing so far? What did you have to either relearn or learn for the first time?
So for these are my first ever stock removal knives. I've always forged to shape, forged my bevels. I don't like grinders. I don't like sitting in front of a grinder. But and I've had Charlie helping me along the way. But so I'm doing these I made the steel, so they're Sanmai, wrought iron, and 1080. And so I made the steel, then thinned it down, and then there's stock removal from there. So there's still a forged knife, but.
So what about stock removal? How's the approach different for you?
With forging, as you're forging, you can see it more. Whereas I'm not good with a grinder. And a lot of times you can't actually see the material coming off because that material is touching the belt. Mm-hmm. You have to grind, then look, grind, then look. Whereas forging, especially with a rounding hammer, you hit the steel, you see it spread.
Right.
And so forging, you can see as you're going, and not being able to see as I go, I don't like.
So do you feel like there's a lot more intuition that goes along with stock removal?
Yeah, and I don't have that.
Yeah. What's been the most rewarding thing about it?
That it's a lot quicker and easier than I thought it was. Not quicker, but like grinding them, I didn't have near as much time on my rough grind as I thought I did. Sure,
because you're just going in with a thick belt, like a 60 grit, and just chewing.
Yeah.
Right. So you're kind of skipping the fine dance that happens at the end of making a knife, where it's like, okay, I'm 95% finished with this knife, but I am 0% finished with grinding. So that means that I have 5 more hours to go.
Well, I'm almost to that point now. They've been heat treated, and now it's time to start finish grinding and doing all that stuff. So
what kind of handle material are you using?
Probably micarta. I've got a bunch of butterscotch micarta to use, and then a bronze. It's not a guard, so either bolster or spacer.
Okay. If you were to redesign one thing about the Puukkos, you were allowed to change the tip or maybe make a thicker cutting edge or stray away from one thing, what would it be? What would make it even more usable?
I do think that having a guard on it would be the one thing I would maybe do differently. Because the way it's designed, there is no guard, so your hand could slip onto the blade.
Okay. What's the thing that you're going to take into your other knives after learning?
Probably so when I typically do my knives, I just eyeball everything. There might be a little bit of measurement involved, but on these, I had Charlie help me, and I even put dicum on them and scribed the center lines and all of that stuff. And I'll probably start doing that more.
Yeah, that's kind of where I wanted to get to. Is you and I both kind of have this same idea with forging, where it's like, well, I'm going to make X, but I don't know exactly what it's going to look like, because I'm going to do things and it's going to, that's going to kink this way, and either to hide that or to actuate that or whatever, it kind of becomes its own thing. So you don't make 2 knives that look alike. For the most part, they're similar, but you can go in and see like, okay, well, this tip's a lot more blunt, or, maybe the belly has a little bit more of a swell on this one, whatever. Do you feel like that getting into this stock removal ideology and kind of a different format of what you're using to make knives, do you think that you see the benefit in layout?
Oh yeah. Well, and what's funny is when I went to go start this project, I was like, okay, Charlie, I'm going to start doing this. And he goes, okay, where's your template? I said, well, I don't have one of those. I'm just going to draw on the steel and cut them out and go for it. He goes, okay, hold on. So then he went and made me a template.
Yeah.
And so I've been doing it that way. And so they're all real similar, and they're going to be a matching set of knives.
Yeah, that's the thing is so I had you make me matching knives I ordered one knife and you gave me 2 for my sister-in-law. And the handles you've gotten to where you kind of have an identity in your handles. I know what to expect out of your handles, which you've kind of challenged recently on this last one you showed me. It was a little bit different, but
well, that one was a full tang, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So that I haven't done full tang in a while, and that's one reason it's different.
Sure, yeah, but there's this overarching kind of chaos to your work, and getting into making a set that when you present it, you want them to look as close as possible together. What have you had to learn about following a layout, because you typically don't do that?
Hey, Charlie, am I doing this right? But having the template, and I think I'm going to start making some templates. And even if I'm forging, I can still forge them out, then use the template, trace, and then even if for forged knives, I can have like, this knife is going to be the same every time.
Right. You can have your, GK1, GK2, GK3. You can have your different shapes. So there's not a ton of preparation in.
Oh, what I do, there's no preparation.
Yeah, it's like I made the steel. Now I'm going to start forging out a knife, and it'll tell me what shape it is. Do you?
Sometimes I will sketch out like a shape.
Yeah,
but that's as far as I go with it.
Do you think that there is going to be added dimensions to your preparation, as far as like knowing not just like what obviously there's like what kind of belts I should use, and what's the handle going to be, and you think about that all as the process going on. I foresee you kind of having that in mind more on the front end now. As far as like actual process goes, do you feel like there will be a more identified SOP of your forging now?
I've slowly been implementing that. Like I've been doing, like, before I start forging something, a lot of times I will know what handle material I'm going to use, because I only have 6 to 10 blocks of wood on hand at a time.
Sure.
So most of the time I already know that. But yeah, I'm going to try and get stuff more standardized, especially once the forging's finished.
Do you feel like that would have a benefit? You and I have talked a lot about going to farmers markets and stuff like that. For people that are wanting to buy a set, do you think that has a benefit of some cohesion going on between it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, especially, and I'm going to try it. I'm going to slowly work towards getting there, especially with kitchen knives, because all of mine have, especially like my paring knives, all typically have the same shape, but none of them are the same size. Like one will be longer and skinnier, one will be shorter and fatter. And so I'm going to try and start getting things more to a template so that people know what to expect, and not just like, oh, the last one I saw was what I wanted, not this one.
Sure. Yeah. All of my knives in my kitchen, if you go in, they're all black handles. They all have the same relief cuts in them for the food release, like they all match up. And it's such a dumb pet peeve, but my pet peeve is if I get a knife from Charlie or if I get a knife from you or whatever, it's like, that's not going to look good in my cutting board, because it's surrounded by all these other knives. Now it's going to look fantastic next to my other knives, because they're all cheapo uniform, got them from Kroger, but I feel like on the higher end market, when people are buying 2 or 3, 4 or 5 set kitchen knives from somebody, they do expect, I want the handles to be the same material. I want them to have the same shape, the same feeling. Like I said, the same food release cuts on them. The whether it be the double fuller that some people are putting on theirs, or whether they be the weird 90 degree. No, the like 90 degree fullers that.
Scallops.
Yeah, scallops. All of mine have scallops on them, and but I do feel like there is some value there in consistency.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but also with especially high end like Charlie, most people aren't going to be buying a set of $3,000 knives.
Sure,
but yeah, and with something like that too, you want to display it more than just put it in your knife block.
Yeah, you probably have one of the magnet ones that is out on the kitchen table or kitchen counter the whole time. So, what So the Warriors Way said we're going to make Puukkos, right? That wasn't your idea. Is that the only thing that caught your eye, or because we were doing the class and kind of talking about them, did anything catch you about that?
I had been wanting to make one because of I was going to follow the class. I still haven't watched the class, but then when Dave said they were doing Puukkos, I was like, oh, hey, Dave, I'll make a couple. So put a little less stress on him so he doesn't have, because I think they're doing 40 of them. So I was like, I'll at least make 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Help
And
a little bit.
You're not doing it full time.
No.
Either. And he's not doing it full time either. He's doing it full part time.
He's doing it.
Well, he's doing it full time right
free,
now. Yeah.
But full time.
Yeah, he's doing it full time right now for sure. So that's your journey on Puukkos. What got you involved with Warriors Way? Let's talk about Warriors Way a little bit. I feel like we haven't really given them their flowers lately.
Well, my intro to Warriors Way was you said, hey, I'm going to pick you up on this day, and we're going to Ohio.
I don't remember that.
Well, and you said, we're going to the Warriors Way, and you'll like those guys. And I said, okay. And I like those guys.
So what was your first event?
It would have been the hammer or the grudge match in 23.
Okay. And you've been out to pretty much all of their stuff since.
I've been to every event since.
Okay. And you took a class from Nick Rossi.
Yep.
What has been their greatest contribution to you as a maker?
Probably the Nick Rossi class was night and day difference before and after.
Oh, absolutely.
And I've even recently, especially when I've been bugging Charlie, have jumped quite a bit in the past 6 months or so. But yeah, that Nick Rossi class was a game changer for me.
What was that focused on?
It was a forge to finish Japanese style chef knife.
And so when you went out, was that a class that you had to pay for or qualify for, or what is the format of that class?
That was a similar situation to you saying, hey, we're doing this. Jeff called me and said, hey, mark your calendar off for these 3 days. And I'm like, well, what's that? And he goes, you're taking a class. I'm like, I am? He goes, yes. Google Nick Rossi and be here those 3 days. And so I did. And I was qualified because I'm a veteran. So any veteran can take free classes through Warriors Way.
Yeah, that's what I want to highlight here in this moment is that if you are a veteran or first responder, your classes are paid for by donations from your community. They have a couple.
I believe kids are also free as well.
I think their archery is free.
They used to do free knife classes for kids as well. Now that they have the archery, I don't know if they're still doing that.
Jeff, jump in the comments. Let us know if you still do free knife stuff for kids. But they're a tremendous asset to the veteran and the first responder community. And these guys don't have to pay for it. They go, whether you're from Indiana or Florida or wherever, they just want to see people get together with one goal, right? Almost a mission. And they kind of the act of forging naturally connects the same synapses in your brain as active duty. And so that's, there's new studies on it that they've shared with me that metalwork specifically helps with the not cure, but ongoing treatment of PTSD and all the other TDs that I can't name. But I've watched bringing friends out, bringing you out, bringing my other friend Eric out. These people go from standing against the wall, not talking, to somebody like Jeremiah grabbing them and throwing a hammer in their hand and saying, you're going to finish this. Let's do this. And it's a different kind of motivation that you don't get from civilians. I could never just grab. So I tried to do it to Hayden at Warriors Way. He was just standing, or at SOFA. He was just standing doing nothing. I went over and I, just popped a hole in a piece of steel and said, "Hey, you're going to make a bottle opener." And he goes, "Okay, I don't know how to do that." And I said, "Yeah, you do. Just do it. What does it need to look like, and start hitting it until it looks like that." And I, kind of walked away, and he would get it in the fire and he'd pull it out and he'd look at it. And then by the time he decided what to do, it'd be
Cold.
black again, and he'd put it back in. And I felt bad because Steve King actually ended up teaching him how to make a bottle opener. But, there's not that same kind of understanding of like when somebody grabs you at Warrior's Way and is like, "We're going to make a knife." It's just has such a different feeling for you guys. And I can tell it's tangible.
Well, now here's the big thing. Veterans, you do not have to have been blown up 3 times to qualify for Warriors Ways classes.
Right.
I was an IT guy in the National Guard. I did deploy a couple of times, but I didn't see combat, and I still qualify. So do you. So take advantage of it. I wanted to say that because I would not have signed up for the class if Jeff hadn't said, "You are taking this class."
Yeah. Dave has been blown up 9 times.
Yeah.
So he definitely qualifies. He actually can take the class twice if he wants.
Well, in that class, it was me, Jeff, Dave, and 2 other guys. One was a veteran and one was not.
Mm-hmm. So. And if I know anything, there's two probabilities of that other guy. Either he paid for everyone to take the class and just cover the cost by himself, or they knew somebody who could use the class and they were like, "You can come too."
So especially like Nick Rossi, it's open to veterans and civilians. But if you're not a veteran or first responder, you do have to pay to take the class.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. You know him. He's a junior smith or a journeyman smith. He's in the Ohio area too, but he lives more towards like Fort Wayne. His first name starts with a J. I feel so bad I can never remember his name. He's at every event.
Oh, I can't think of who you're talking about.
This is weird. He always wears a blue shirt.
Yeah, I've got no idea. It's not the dude that cut his hair, that had really long hair the first couple times went out and shaved it.
He always has pretty short hair. He was at least there the past 2 times.
Josh?
No, not Josh. Not Prince. Not that Josh. He did have long hair and cut it.
Yeah.
But he was down by Cincinnati. It's Jared or Justin or
the big dude that looks like he's in every hardcore band.
No, this guy looks very straight laced, clean cut, my height, maybe 20 pounds less than me.
The only person I can think of is Zane that's out there. Any hoozle.
Yeah. Sorry if you're listening.
So
I'm terrible with names.
So, it kind of gave you that extra leg up as a maker. Without getting emotional, I don't want to make this a crying podcast. But what is it done for you as a person, as a community of veterans? What have they been able to offer you?
Well, especially like Jeff and Dave are just the sweetest people in the world.
Oh, Jeff is.
Dave is too, but in Dave's own way.
No, he's not.
But like Jeff, about every 3 weeks, I'll get a text. "Hey man, hope you're doing good." And it always brightens my day.
Yeah.
But that's just how Jeff is.
Also, for the first at least year, every time he saw you was, "Hey, did you go to the VA yet?"
Well, that was Dana. And I talked to Dana on the phone the other day.
Oh, I watched Jeff do it to you too.
It's because Dana told him to.
He would come up and ask me. He'd go, "Hey, is Greg gone to the VA?" And I'd be like, "I don't know, Jeff. I don't know." And go, you got to tell him to go. You got to remind me. And he would text me and say,
"It's because
tell him to
Dana
go to
told
the VA."
him.
Yeah.
Dana was like, "You're going to bug him until he goes."
So
not going to work, Dana.
Just, even though, and like I said, I'm not trying to turn this into a sob story or whatever, but even though they're not necessarily the ones that are there to pick up the phone when you're struggling with something or whatever, you still have close friends for that. just the community of having somebody who you know is thinking about you every couple of weeks and is willing to shoot you a text. And
Oh yeah, because I'm the worst at it.
yeah.
Like, how many years did we go without talking?
Me and Nathan talked about this one time. If it weren't for Malin, me and Nathan would probably talk every 2 to 3 years.
Oh yeah.
And it would genuinely be like, hey, do you still live in this state? I am going to be in this state. Nope. Okay. Hope everything's okay.
Yeah, that's how I am.
You know.
And having somebody that's not like that, like Jeff, is
Yeah.
great. Everybody should have a Jeff.
Everybody should have a Jeff. Jeff and Nate are my Jeffs. Jeff will text me every once in a while and say, hey, just listen to this thing and thought of you. Ha ha ha. His little avatar crying every time. And then Nate will send me texts. Hey dude, I listened to your podcast. That was such great advice. I just got a text from him. They're now
Nate Howitt?
Yeah, they're now doing check-ins and check-outs. So when you grab your grinder and your weld gear and stuff, you go into a cell, you do your project. Before you can leave your cell, they have to take your tag out and they have to inspect to make sure you cleaned up. It's just a lean improvement they've made. But getting active feedback from him on some of the advice that we're giving and stuff like that is super cool. And Jeff does the same thing. He'll text me, listen to the podcast and you said this, and this is what I have to think about it. And, there's sometimes where he says you were a little bit off and here's what I think. And there's sometimes where he's like full steam ahead, keep going with that. But, what I've noticed is that a lot of my friends who have been in the military or have been police officers or, whatever, tend to have one or two guys that maybe they are close to in that realm, in that world, that also have serving experience. And those guys are much better off because they have somebody they can rely on. And then I have a few people who don't keep in contact with anybody in their military experience, and they don't have old, that's my old Marine buddy, and what I think from the outside looking in, once again, could be very, very wrong. But what I see is a group of guys who have been through similar experiences that don't all feel the need to talk about it ad nauseum. And it's not a junk measuring contest. It's just dudes who are like, oh, you were there? Cool. I went there in 93. You were there in 2005. You're such a baby. You're a child.
That is not the language that would be used.
I
yes.
understand that. Yes. But just having the knowledge of those guys having the same experience, is that semi-beneficial to be able to meet up with a bunch of guys that you're like, oh, like if I were to want to talk about an air raid or, this thing that happened, or, you have the story of sleeping through an air raid at one point and
multiple times.
I don't understand that. Like, I understand like, oh, it's loud and there could be bombings and you slept through it. Okay.
So it wasn't an air raid, but it was mortar and rocket attacks.
Right.
Like every other night.
And you have this story that I'm like, wow, that sounds scary. Good job, bud. High five. Whereas if you tell that to Jeremiah or to Dave or, they can relate on a much clearer level because they're like, oh, yeah, that happened one time. I had to poop in the middle of it. And here's my story about that.
Oh, yeah. Especially Dave. He probably was in the porta potty for one.
If not multiple.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Well, I know this is probably a short one. Evan, where are we at? 32 minutes? I know this is probably a short one, but I was a little late today and I have a lot of things to get back to. I think we're going to wrap it up. This is going to be my Nathan Brandt inspired immediate wrap up when it feels like it should go longer.
You can come see me do a hammer demo at Sofa on November 1st. And then the next weekend we will be at Warriors Way, and come see us there.
November 1st, come see Greg. He's going to be doing a hammer demo, and then come see Warriors Way. I don't think we'll be there in an official front, but guys from Coal Iron Works will be out there, and we will be having a party. Come to the Andy Davis Hammer Inn and go to Warriors Way. Thank you.
Bye.